Hi, thanks. I'm here today in New Jersey, and I'm. Today is a cloudy day, but I want to remove some clouds regarding astrology. Actually, I received numerous phone calls after my first YouTube program, and the program was so much appreciated. People gave me number of suggestions, but one person, one guy, phoned me and asked me, what is it about? What is astrology? So then suddenly I thought, before going to the technical things, before explaining all the scientific things, I must explain what is astrology to the people. So today I decided to go about the same. As you all know, that man is a only creature, rather, he is the only person who thinks. And even older man, he started thinking. Other animals do not think. Man always thinks. So he started thinking. And this thinking has brought him from barbaric stage to this modern stage. Initially, he was doing few things. And when we peeped into history, the first thing he did was seeing the sky, seeing astrology. So astrology was the first science. It was developed properly when chemistry, physics and other sciences were not there. He developed that. And slowly, for the first thing which he discovered after that was that the sun rises every day morning and downs in the evening, and that's a regular process. Afterwards he could find out that is fire, that is Agni, that was found out by him. So similarly he was making some small discoveries which were doing his life better and better. Afterwards, slowly he moved and he started seeing at the sky in the night. He found many planets, many stars, and one of them was Mars, then Saturn. So he found out all the stars. And Rishis who were studying that, they were scientists, they were knowing that, they were doing that. The word Rishi has come 133 times in Rig Veda. Rig Veda is an ancient Indian culture, literature. So that word is itself is important. So they started working on it. The first revolution in the man's life came is, I think, agricultural revolution. Afterwards there are industrial revolution and many other revolutions. But the first revolution which came was agricultural revolution. So he was looking after that. After he saw sun, then the second visible object to his sight was definitely moon. So in the night he started observing moon. He observed that moon is bright sometimes and it is dark sometimes. So on full moon day it is full moon, on Amavasya day it is absolutely no moon. So he thought there must be some other source which moon is getting energy or illuminated from it. And slowly he understood that it is sun which is giving or illuminating moon. So, and it is even made in Vishnu Purana. Vishnu Purana, it is clearly written that sun gives energy to moon. So slowly they were, the observations begin. They started on it. First they saw Jyoti. They termed it that all stars in the sky as Jyoti. And its knowledge, they called it as Jyotishya. Then they started studying universe. They studied universe. They knew that universe is quite a big thing. It's infinite. It is mentioned in all our scriptures that it's infinite. So they started knowing everything about that. Afterwards, they found that there are certain figures in the sky. That figures are that because the stars, if they have connected the stars to each other and found that some figures are created. Just there was a figure like bull, then there was a figure like ram. So all these figures were seen by them by connecting stars. So they named them as zodiac signs or rashis, and their parts were known as nakshatras. So these nakshatras, the nakshatra is fixed stars. Nowadays you call fixed stars. So they know naksha plus atra is equal to fixed stars. In Sanskrit it means fixed star. So they made the nakshatra, they studied the nakshatra. Then they found that on that background all the stars travel. All the planets travel. So further they studied that moon travels from one nakshatra every day. And naturally the once cycle is completed, they called it as lunar month. After they found out that 12 lunar months makes one solar month, a solar year. So slowly the time was maintained by them. They started calculating time, and astronomical information was pouring in. It was coming in, from all sides, all rishis. They were making it, and this information, knowledge, statistics was increasing every day. But any science is absolutely useless if it is not applied in human development. If you think of medical science, if it is not put for the betterment of mankind, then it's useless. So application is most important. If only computers were there and softwares were not there, it would not have served the purpose which it serves now. So application is very, very important. So all the rishis, they thought of application. Now we have gathered the knowledge. Now we should apply it for the betterment of the human. So how to do it? So they had one conference. Nowadays we call conference. Similar type of conference was called. And in that conference it was decided to utilize this all knowledge for the betterment of a human race. So what the betterment? That time there was no industrial revolution or anything. Only agriculture was there. So biggest hurdle in agriculture was rain forecasting. Many times they used to do harvesting and there was no rain. So it was going west. So main necessity for them, as I have said, necessity is invention's mother. So they wanted to know when it will forecast. Storms were there. So they wanted to know when storms will come. They used to travel in a cart. So they wanted to know when to travel. So to know all these things, they wanted to use all these statistical data which they have gathered from so many years. So they started on it, studying that. So Rushi said that every place, the India was a big country, and every place there was a different rainfall. So India was divided, ancient India I can say, it was divided in 18 parts. And 18 Rishis from different were nominated to see, make research. And they had made the research. And then they started forecasting. After complete research was done, they started forecasting the rains. And when the rain was forecasted, then they were little bit correct also. So the agricultural output improved and much improved. Afterwards, they saw that when they wanted to travel, they saw that if it is a full moon day, it is better to travel. And when it is no moon day, they avoided to travel. So it was, no moon day was said as inauspicious. Similarly, other planets, now you can say that Mars, they have observed that Mars with Saturn in conjunction creates a storm. So such types of rules they started framing regarding storm, regarding agricultural, regarding rains and all other things. And these rules were initially called as Medaniya Jyotish, in which only environmental astrology was only considered. But afterwards, a great Rishi known as Bhrigu, he was thinking that we are utilizing it for the purpose of environment. Why not to utilize it for human being? So they prepared the exact horoscopes of many people. It was a mammoth task. I can tell you, it is a mammoth task, and I think it must have ran in generations, because it was a predictive astrology, and they wanted to see it. They collected huge data on personal level. This voluminous work that is known as Bhrigu Samhita is still here. People don't know, but there are some parts in Madras, some parts in Jammu. So they are divided, and even these small parts are quite big, in which lot of information regarding this astrology is done. So they are doing it. So in even Jammu Kashmir library, you can see that there is a Bhrigu Samhita in which more than 1 lakh stanzas are there. So it was a very big work, and in which ultimately they came out with certain rules, thinking and all that. Other Rishis like Parashar, Jaimini then made the analysis of all this data, and they framed the rules. And that's how astrology started. And then it became a part of complete Indian society. Every time astrological things were asked. Now Muhurta, marriage, when is to be performed? In olden days, or say today also, in Hindu marriage, you had to perform a puja about near the fire. And if while performing the puja, if rain falls, then fire will extinguish and it will be a problem. It will be a troublesome. So they found out the days when there will be little fire. You can see that all the muhurtas in India are not in rainy season. They are after Diwali or in May, June. So that way they have found out they were the suitable dates, nothing else. And slowly they started using this science, this data for the betterment of the human being. And now with the years to go, it has developed like anything. You can forecast many things. You can forecast many things regarding human human diseases, then human working, which line he can go, and all other things can be said now. So I think this will make something clear about astrology and what it is. People feel in USA also the occult science word is used. Actually, it is not occult science. It is a science. It is an ancient science. You may call it as applied science. You may call it as empirical science. But it is a science and it's worth studying it.